It was closed before. It can no longer be closed. Behold, I set before you an open door which no man can shut. God himself knows that men are the sponsor of evil. God himself knows that your best friend could be an enemy tomorrow. God himself knows that your children could be, God forbid, could be an enemy tomorrow. God himself knows that everyone close to could be an enemy. So God says, I set before you an open door which no man. So God put a man there in case a man is responsible for your closed door. You may have an appointment for breakthrough and somebody goes to spoil it. You may have an appointment, you may have somebody in mind you want to get married to, you love the person, and somebody goes and spoil you before the person. God knows a man could do that. A man could even set a trap for you in order for you to fall into the trap. God knows a man could do that. A man could even say what you know nothing about, to lie on your head. A man God knows a man could do that. God knows somebody could lie on you to a point that their lying tongue is like that of Ahithophel, that when they say a thing to anybody, it's like a God is the one speaking. God himself knows. He said no man can. Ladies and gentlemen, I pray for you today. Any man who is standing on your way to your stardom, anyone who is standing on your way to your breakthrough, anyone who is standing on your way to your testimony, anyone who is behind you, before you and betraying you, anyone who is your friend and is betraying you at the back, anyone who is your friend and is messing around with your head, anyone who is your friend and is trying to make life miserable for you, in the name that is above every name, may God separate you from such a person. Sometimes God has to separate you from such people because they are a nemesis to your life. Sometimes God has to separate you from some people because they need to live your life for you to make progress. Sometimes God has to separate you from business partners just for you to make progress. Sometimes God has to take away Jonah out of your ship in order for your ship not to sink. Sometimes God has to separate you. Ladies and gentlemen, no two persons are born. If two persons could be born the same day, but two persons are not supposed to die the same day. Husband and wife could be lovers for life, but they are not supposed to die the same day. They have different blood running in their veins. They have this different judgment before the law. Everyone will stand before God and give their account of their own life, not a husband and wife. So, ladies and gentlemen, anybody can be a friend from childhood and can decide not to be a friend in adulthood because somehow